black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.
All right, well, thank you so much for the Black Girl Nerds hosted screening of Pacific Rim Uprising. My name is Jamie Broadnax, I'm your host. Very excited to have none other than the star of the film, Mr. John Boyega, here to answer all of our questions about the movie. There he is!
I'm just gonna go out, man. That's fine. Bloody hell, that's a lot of people. Hello, you all right?
Hey, John.
Hi,
how's
how
it
you
going?
doing? Yeah, I'm good. Jesus?
What's it like seeing this with the audience? Is this your first time seeing it with an audience?
My first time was in London.
Okay.
Yeah, during the London premiere. Hi, guys, by the way. I didn't say hello properly. Hey, you all right? Wow.
I know, it's super bright.
I know, but it's all good. I can see everyone.
Yeah. So, when you're doing these films, like you're right now like the sci-fi king, right? Everybody has seen you with Star Wars, Attack the Block, and Attack the Block is where it all started. I mean, how does it feel to kind of, sort of be like the king, the blurred king of the sci-fi genre?
Well, accommodation doesn't come with that, so I'm quite disappointed. I thought I'd get like a castle or something. But I like the fact that I've been able to be involved in these sci-fi projects. I've loved sci-fi since I was a kid, and it's just something that I just love the genre and I love being a part of it. So I really do feel good that I get to be a part of larger-than-life movies like this.
Yeah. We were just talking about Avengers Infinity War that's going to be coming out soon. Some independent movie.
Did you guys see that trailer?
Yeah.
Why are they doing this to us? Like, woo.
But our man Tony Stark had a conversation with you. Robert Downey Jr. Called you up and kind of gave you some advice about being in the entertainment industry. Can you talk about that story?
Yeah, it was right before episode 7 was coming out, and I think I'd just been getting into this Hollywood scene stuff and going to industry events, and Robert Downey Jr. just struck me as someone I'd always wanted to meet. And to be honest, if you want advice from someone in the industry, you want advice from someone that has been to the lowest point and has been able to work himself right back. So I just wanted someone to just be real with me. What does this really mean? And he had a conversation about me and told me that, do you know what? To be honest with you, there are generic things that I can advise you on, but a lot of it will be your own experience. But it's just about keeping friends and family close. Keeping good spirits and staying positive, and we had a good lengthy conversation about it.
Would you be interested in being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Black Panther 2.
I'm good right now.
That's true. That is true.
Just being in the audience watching, and it's important because when you're in a position that you have the opportunity to go on to several different projects. You got to be strategic, and you got to also understand when it's not your moment to shine. My part in Black Panther is to be an audience and to be a supporter, just like you. And for me, that makes me so happy because being involved in industry, it's nice to experience a film you're not even a part of, and to feel like you're a part of it in some way. But for Marvel, man, yeah, give me 10, 15 years, God spare my life, maybe.
You don't want to wait that long, we want it now.
I gotta get my facial hair up or something.
So I'm gonna take some questions from Twitter for you. This is from @JohnXM98. Will John produce a live action anime when the time is right? I know you're a big anime head.
Pokemon's being done at the moment. Yeah. They're filming in London at the moment for Pokemon. But I mean, I don't know. My big thing is that a lot of these anime movies are too Americanized when they're made into live action. And that has obviously a direct link to funding and also the decisions that they make on that part, which is a messy situation. But if I was going to do an anime movie, it would have to be Japanese, the full shebang. And but for now, that's a complicated territory. Yeah. But at least everyone can run like this in film. Yeah. we'll know exactly what they're doing.
This is from @D_smooth77. This.
ID.
ID. What has the journey been like going from Attack the Block to Star Wars to Detroit to taking over a new franchise like Pacific Rim? And did you ever think that doing Attack the Block would lead you this far in the business?
When I did Attack the Block, I wanted to just get my foot in. It was an opportunity to me. I was just doing stage plays, and I knew I needed to make a transition into feature films. But I didn't know it was gonna make it across to the States. I flew out to LA before Attack the Block was released in the States, and I was staying in a motel called Coral Sands. It was a great experience. And as I was there, Attack the Block got American distribution, and I was shocked by it. So they moved me from the Coral Sands motel to the Ritz-Carlton downtown. I was like...
Wow, that's a 180 right there.
I mean, my bank account was still minus, but you know when you're broke, but you're in a nice room, it's not as bad.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
I never knew Attack the Block was gonna get so much attention, and when it did, I ran with that opportunity. And to be honest, Hollywood was an opportunity that I felt would have come later for me. But since it came earlier, I was like, all right, come on, let's go. So I ran with it.
What genre, this is a follow-up question to D Smooth, what genre would you do that you have not done yet?
I haven't done a full comedy before.
Ooh,
I do that.
Great in comedy.
I do that. But I haven't been in love on screen. I haven't been in love.
We can practice.
I like
Shoot
you.
your shot, 2018. We can practice. I feel like you and Rose kind of had a little something going on.
That's not the kind of love I'm talking about, you know. I'm talking about the love we saw in Love and Basketball. I'm talking about the kind of love we saw in...
Okay.
You know what? Like when it's you as an audience, you watch it and you're like, oof, I remember when I felt that way, you know. It's one of those situations. I haven't done one of those, and I'd love to with a great female lead. I'd love to do that.
All right, y'all listening? John wants to be in a comedy.
Wait, I have to holler at Lupita first, and then we get...
This question is from Akaroma08. What growing pains did you go through or overcome in your first stint as producer?
I mean, stepping into this film as a producer was challenging from the get-go because of the time that we had. We didn't have enough time. Normally a film this scale has up to 2.5 years for development, especially for visual effects. And it was very, very problematic from the start. We were literally rushing to make time while not obviously trying to spill out on finances. And also we were still we were scouting locations while we were still filming, and it was crazy, you know, but that's what happens. Sometimes you secure a location, the authorities get involved, that falls through, you just move from one to the next, and it was just, it was nuts. But I'm very thankful to everybody at Universal and to everybody at Legendary because there was unity, number one, there was good communication, and also at the same time, we worked together to get through it, and then this is the finished product, which I don't think is too bad for...
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. This is from @Reese's_S_pieces. I love these Twitter names.
Yeah.
What did taking on this role teach you about yourself, and what are you capable of?
I guess you're always fearful being in a position in which a certain amount of responsibility is given to you. But I realized that, you know what, I'm a great communicator, and much more than I thought I was, especially working in a group. And on this kind of project, communication is like key because there's so many different departments. But also, this was a step up for me in terms of work ethic. I've never had to work this hard before. And so for me, I just felt like I stood up to the challenge in terms of that.
And Evan Boo. Evan Boo asked, did Guillermo del Toro give you any tips or inspiration about producing? Also, do you have any new projects as a producer in the pipeline?
Guillermo del Toro was involved early on in the first quarter of when we were prepping, but then obviously he had to go and do that film he just won an Oscar for, no big deal. But I was surprised and shocked. Like every time we would go, especially with the pre-visuals, that was one thing that we always forwarded back to him to just give us some notes. As we didn't want the action and the story to not connect to the first, and he was always willing to give advice and to guide us in that way. In terms of Upper Room, yeah, I am developing something I'm not in it, but it's based on Black British life in the early 90s, and we're developing that with Big Talk, who done Attack the Block, and with a new director called Sebastian Thiel, who's really, really good. So I'm trying to get all this stuff off the ground before I die. You know what I mean?
It's a very, very long time.
No, but you know it's all going to happen to all of us. Yeah, I mean, what? You know, you gotta. You know, I'm very appreciative of life every day. Seriously, it's like a perspective for me. So, I'm trying to get a few things off the ground.
You're living a blessed life, that is for sure.
You know, God, thank God, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So last question from Twitter, and then we'll take some questions here from the audience. At Just Plain Tweets. Look at this. This is bananas. It's not a game in this crowd. It is not a game. Shoot your shot, y'all. So, at Just Plain Tweets asked, if you had to choose, would you rather wield a lightsaber or pilot a Jaeger in real life? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question.
That's a trap right there. That's a trap. See, me right now, I have my hands in both.
Right,
you know?
right.
Go to Disney with a lightsaber, go to Universal, handle a Jaeger, you know. Can't we all just coexist?
All right, that's our answer. But you kind of had like a lightsaber moment in... Yeah. So you did coexist.
You guys are just trying to merge these universes together, aren't you?
We're nerds. We have to.
You have to.
We have to. All right, so we'll take our first. Just state your name and your question for John.
My name is Blair Amani. You can follow me on Twitter at Blair Amani. And sorry, I had to. My question is about kind of like the subtleties about relationships in this film. I thought it was a really nice kind of throughout the film, the way that like Black masculinity especially was kind of being broken down, especially the line about, oh, well, he is sexy. And so my friend Mars and I, we were like, we were talking about, like, does that mean that this character is bisexual? Like, he's like looked at the woman character and at the male character. And so I wanted to know what you thought. And then, yeah.
No. He's not bisexual, but here was for me what the fundamental thing was. I'm a loving person. I'm a straight man, but I'm a loving person. If I see you as a male, I can say you look good, and it not feel like our dicks are shrunk. You know what I mean? So for me, I wanted to embody a character who was free with himself, like, you know, saying like, oh, I know what girls see in this guy. You know what I mean? And that was an honesty and a raw moment for Jake, and I feel a lot more men should have. Just be honest, man. Like, man looks good, it's fine. It don't mean it's cool. Like, what's the big? Like, seriously, what's the big deal? Like, if you're comfortable in your sexuality, and Jake is very comfortable in his sexuality, all the malarkey you see him getting up to. So he's a very free person. Says what it is, and that's about it. There's no embarrassment about it. But it was nice to add a line like that, because so honestly, that's something I would say. You know, sometimes I say to my boys, like, man, you're looking good, man. You look great, man. Stop looking at me for too long, but you look good, man. Do you know what I mean? You know, it doesn't in any way, you know, have to pinpoint in categorizing. And I think in our world, where someone says something like that, we seek to know what their sexuality is, and we want to categorize it. Pacific Rim world is a world in which there's so much unity, and that just doesn't matter right now. And so I like the fact that you picked up on that. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Blair.
Okay, That was like the long drop over there. Okay, so big fan. I know that you, for the movie Detroit, so are you doing any other further movies around that line of show?
Like the genre drama?
Yeah.
Drama is actually where we're looking to get into next. I won't be adding any additional new sci-fi movies to the roster right now. I'm gonna leave that be. I think I've done my thing, and I'm gonna go into drama because Detroit for me was a very amazing experience, and I'd just like to explore myself as an actor within that realm. So yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carla.
Hiya.
So my question would be, did you at any point speak with Idris about, how to do the familial aspect of the movie, or were you just that good and you're just winging it?
He sent me a message just saying congratulations and kill it. And it was at the beginning of, before we were supposed to be shooting. And he sent a message also to my producing partner, Femi, just to wish us the best of luck. But to us in the UK, especially in our little small island, Idris is like Captain America. He's the first Avenger. He came over to the States and was in The Wire, and then was in an interview, was like, I'm from East London. And we were all just like, all right, we're going to America too then. Me, Daniel Kaluuya, Letitia Wright, jumped on our British horses and came down here and charged. So he's a big, massive inspiration. And for me, I wanted Jake to be his own thing, but at the same time, I wanted Jake to be his father's son, and I wanted people to be like, your daddy's definitely Stacker. And I think embodying a lot of how Idris was in the first film was also important to me. So yeah, he means a lot to this as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Feels so short.
This mic adjustment just exposes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just like. Hey, I'm KS Black at KOSBAC. I have a question. Who was your barber? Because your hairline was tight. That was a tight ass hairline. Sorry.
I mean, I was actually supposed to get a touch-up before I came. My barber's secret. I can't reveal him or her. Or her to you.
Right.
But they got me messed up during Star Wars. So I was just like, in this film, I'm producing this one now. He's gonna get that box fade.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't about to miss that. But actually, I'm the one that made the decision for Finn to have a short throw in Star Wars. And mainly because I just wanted people to really see the texture of a black man's hair. And for me, I thought back to someone like Robert Pattinson in Twilight is praised for having messy hair and it's sexy. But when a black guy does it, where's the lineup? Where's the shape up? Nah, man, let's open up the horizon a little bit more. Not everyone can have a box fade. You know what I mean? But in this film, we having a box fade. I mean, I'll give you the connect later.
Yeah, this is good. You don't have to move it. Hi, my name is Joey, and I really love this movie. I really loved how anime it felt too. As a big anime fan, like you got like the kaiju invading the drones. It felt a lot like Evangelion. Did you pull him in a lot of like a lot of those drones look like mass-produced Evangelion like series, like the ones that eventually fly. They didn't fly this time, thank goodness. But then so were there any other anime references you wanted to get into this movie?
For me, when we sat down with visual effects and we were in a meeting and we were planning the big major fight in Tokyo, I was just like to everyone that, you know what, if you have the time, watch the final great ninja war of Naruto. Watch that war.
Okay, yeah.
And just see the way it goes down. Remember the way Madara was just going through guys. Like, I don't care, Nakibayo, like, I'll take you out. I like that, and I want Mega Kaiju to embody, to have much more flexibility, to move with intelligence. And I wanted the fighting style. It's always kind of difficult when you have something that is mech going up against something that is biological. it's like, what kind of fighting style do you truly do when one can just shoot all the time? So I wanted there to be some form of hand-to-hand combat. Obviously, the kaiju can't do karate, but there were various things that I wanted to be apparent, like picking up Gypsy and flinging Gypsy and banging him on skidding him down the road was something that I wanted to happen, because I felt like that to me reminds me of a school fight when a bully just lets you know that you're not even strong enough, and it creates an empathy of the audience to want them to win. And the struggle of anime fights is something that I love. Anime fights happen to move the story forward, not just for show. And so I wanted to add that to this as well.
All the anime fans are geeking out right now.
Oh, yeah. My toad's outside, by the way.
Sorry, I'm almost 6 feet tall, so this is... Yeah, I'm tall, okay. Hi, I'm Mars. Pacific Rim is my favorite action movie ever. I watch it all the time. Anyway, I'm a nerd. So what was the biggest challenge that you found connecting the narrative of the sequel to the first movie, like just knowing that the sequel almost didn't happen?
I was one of the audience members who was waiting on a sequel, and I think I even left a comment on one of those blogs. I was like, when is Guillermo del Toro gonna come? Like, I was one of those guys.
That guy?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. But I really wanted it to happen. But when I heard that the uprising was happening, I was really, really concerned about the connective tissue. I was just like, look, Stacker didn't say he had no son, man. You guys are just, you guys are doing a little bit of a trickery there. But once I read the script, and I just thought it was honest, and it kind of expanded Stacker's character to connect the two movies, to have him have to, for us as an audience, have to question that Stacker may not have been the best dad in the world and may not have handled the situations exactly the way he should have. But it's something about kind of tainting our heroes in sci-fi that makes it more realistic. So once I spoke to Steve and Kel Boyta, and I knew that the story was connected in an intelligent way, I was all game for it. And it was actually quite organic, and there weren't much challenges around that. I guess it was about then now casting and having the dialogue make sense as you speak it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, love.
I have a question. I'm just kidding. I'm just going to say there's 2 more questions that we're doing, and then we're going to wrap up.
Okay.
I'm just here for moral support.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Olive, and my question is, did you like filming the action scenes more or the comedy scenes?
The comedy scenes, for sure. The comedy scenes, for sure. I think the thing that I realized when watching films now, like, I haven't always been involved in films that needed much action. And for me, I appreciate any action film that can have feature film release, because now when I watch films and I see them do all the punches and they get thrown back, I know what it takes. And a lot of the time it hurts, it's long hours. And so, we're doing all this hero stuff, like, let's do the hero stuff. When the camera's cut, we're like, oh, sick of this shit. Trying to get it off, and so but the comedy scenes were relaxed, and for me, I especially like the scene where I was making the ice cream sundae.
Oh, yeah. That's what they were saying were favorite scenes.
I was just taking a mick on that scene. Scott, and the funny thing, Scott came in that day not knowing what I was gonna do, and so each time I was just throwing things at.
I gotta ask this: when you did the sprinkles, were you thinking about Salt Bae?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I was doing the most in that scene. So the comedy scene is definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Olive.
Thank you, sir. Hi, my name is Lance John. Wagwan, John. So my question is, what was your favorite line, and can you say it now in character?
Yeah, you know what? Your top lip and your bottom lip, they need to meet and become friends. That's it.
Excellent. Well, with that ends our Q&A with John, our Pacific Rim Uprising Black Girl Nerds hosted event. Thank you.
Thank you, all. Good to see you again.
Good
to see you again.
well.
All right, then, lovely.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, sure.
girl nerds. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.